With Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. Next we have is the approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for today.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of minutes.
I'll move to approve the minutes for last week.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next is approval of claims for payment.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims for payment for this week.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now we have Hubbard Medical Center Board. How do you want to present, or? Yep.
Well, thank you for allowing us time on the agenda.
You're welcome.
I'm Richard Griffey, and I'm the treasurer of the Hubbard Community Medical Center Board, and Sherry Bowman and Trish Ackerman are here also. And just wanted to talk to you a little bit about, we applied for tax exempt status for our board. Our board was formed back in 1964 with the goal of providing medical service to Hubbard and the surrounding communities. And at that time, the community was able to raise funds and build a medical facility. And we were able to get a doctor, and we've been fortunate to have medical care through the years at our clinic. But now Linda Gerke's been providing medical care here for quite a few years. She's getting towards the end of her career, and our building is outdated and inadequate for a medical facility today. It doesn't meet some of the requirements that would be like handicapped accessible things that would be needed now. So our board has decided we're going to go to the community and ask them to donate money to try to raise enough money for a new facility. Our board doesn't have money to build a facility, and we have no capacity to borrow money because we have no way of paying off debt. So we thought, I have our financial stuff from the last 3 years. Our board really we don't have anything to do with the medical practice itself. Our only goal is we provide a facility, and we try to make sure there's a provider in there for the community. So medical practice is strictly Linda's. We have no income from that. Our income is, we get $500 a month rent for the building. And as of right now, our property taxes are about 21% of what we take in a year. But if we build a new facility, we already know that we're sure the assessed valuation would be quite a bit higher, and the property taxes would take a lot bigger bite out of the $6,000 we get a year. So we're trying to keep the rent down there to be able to have it feasible for somebody to be in there. So I guess we applied for the tax exempt status for a nonprofit, but that didn't sound real promising, and we heard that that decision isn't even made here, it's made out of state, possibly. Is that correct?
That's a
I make the decision.
You make the decision? Okay. So I guess our goal was never, we don't try to profit from it. Our goal is only to have medical care in Hubbard. And this new facility, if we get the funds, it's going to be built out by the care center on their property. And as I understand right now, the Hubbard Care Center is property tax exempt.
Okay.
And they plan on using that for their patients, and if a specialty doctor would come to use the clinic for their patients also for that. So I guess we're just asking you for some consideration on maybe granting us tax exemption for property tax, or any tax relief you could give us Sherry was talking to an attorney about other matters, and he suggested we come and talk to the board. So that's why we're here today, and we just appreciate any consideration you could give us, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Don, any ideas or anything?
All they have to do is submit one thing, and that's a financial report to me to show that that is nonprofit. That was not included in your application when you submitted it. This is all I received, and all it says is that you filed under the nonprofit, but you're not proving to me that it's nonprofit. So you have to show me where the $6,000 is going for the real estate that you're getting
Okay.
in order for me to make it nonprofit.
Well, what we do, the money, right now we've been paying property taxes, of course we have insurance, and then whatever else we have is just for upkeep on the building, which
Yeah,
doesn't leave it.
and that's what I need, is to
Okay.
show that 6,000 isn't going into somebody's pocket.
No,
See, so
no.
you have to show to me that it's being used to maintain that property.
That's why I brought these last 3 years. In 2013, our beginning balance started out with $4,000.
This isn't dead yet until April 1st.
Okay. And at the end of 2015, we had $6,252 in our account. But, so over 3 years, we gained $2,222, which is $740 a year. But one repair with the furnace or air conditioner or anything like
Right.
that, and that can
Yeah.
be gone.
Yeah.
Does
So
does that need to
we're-
be designated, that money need to be designated to a specific repairs?
It has to
When they
be
sell
back to the consideration of, no, just maintaining that building.
Okay.
In other words, they gotta be able to prove that that $6,000 isn't going into somebody's pocket for profit, because they're filing under a nonprofit organization.
So is
All the money has to be used to maintain that building.
is this sufficient for you to do
And I'll have
that?
to look it over. As far as I can see, as long as it's a financial statement, it is. If I can go through and they're showing
You
that.
said this
it's
is
all-
your bank account information,
Yeah,
or more or
it's a
less?
pretty simple deal. We just, I mean, like I said, we just get $500 a month rent, and then as repairs and stuff come up, we pay it out of there, and hopefully we have enough money to
Yeah.
be able to do what we want to do.
Okay, so what happens then, Don, if they do build on something that's currently,
They'll have to prove on that building as well that it's gonna be probably a nonprofit.
Do you want us to do
Uh,
that yearly?
Yeah.
No, all you have to do is just submit enough to, at the time that it's gonna be put into exemption. So,
Okay,
another thing is this application allows for charitable organizations as well. Are they gonna get special care from the clinic and no charge, or, and that's charitable. So, and that's another area as well, so.
I guess our board, like I said, is, the medical practice is its own thing. We just supply the facility
Mhm.
and try to make sure we keep a doctor
Okay,
or some provider in there. So basically, our thing is with the building and.
right, and that's all mine is I don't care about the
We're,
business.
yeah, we're just trying
I'm-
to, we're
I
just
deal
trying
with real
to
estate.
operate, be able to keep the building up on the little dab of money.
And
we
that's
get.
all, that's the information I need, is just
Okay.
show that you're putting the money towards the building.
Okay, do you think you need more than this?
I'll go over this.
I don't know.
And I have Cheryl's email, so
Okay.
if I need anything, I'll just email you something. Okay?
Okay,
Appreciate it.
yeah, appreciate it.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Glad we got cleared up a lot. Well, next on the agenda, we have is the Recorder's Monthly Report.
I'll make a motion to approve the Recorder's Monthly Report.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 You're from
Motion carries.
3 weeks if I need it. But I have to have it done by April 1st. After April 1st, I can change it. So,
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks again for coming.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
Next, we have is change of status in Sheriff's Office.
I will make a motion to approve the change of status for Lisa Barr. It's a promotion, Assistant Communications Supervisor, at the same salary rate. Effective March 9th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we have is a receipt of animal feeding operation construction permit, Lauterbach site, section 21, Alden Township. And we're acknowledging the receipt.
Okay, so I'll make a motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge the receipt of an animal feed operation construction permit, the Lauterbach site, section 21, Alden Township.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Don, you've gone through that one as well.
Yep, I just got it Monday, Monday, I guess. And Mike has already done the maps for me, so I'll do my preliminary matrix. And we'll go from there. I've contacted the state already, so DNR. So they'll let me know Monday what's going on, so.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Now, we set the date and time for the public hearing on the animal feeding operation construction permit at Lauterbach Site 21, Alden Township.
Okay, I'll
It
go
is
ahead.
the 23rd?
Yeah,
Okay, on a Monday. Is that right? No?
No.
No. It has to be, yeah, there's on Wednesday.
it's on
Yes.
Wednesday,
Good.
yeah. Okay, so I'll make a motion to set the date and time for the public hearing on the animal feeding operation construction permit for the Lauterbach site, section 21, Alden Township, for March 23rd, and do we want to do that at 10:02?
If that's fine.
Okay.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now we have a couple of invoices received from the city of Eldora for economic development. I guess I got a couple of questions on this. One is, we don't have a 2080 with the city of Eldora. It is with the Eldora Industrial Development Corp., Dave Rubo. These are submitted for the first quarter and the second quarter of last year. Both bills are.
But isn't the payment, didn't we usually make that to?
We did, but we started a new 2080 with a new organization at the beginning of this. So do we pay, here's the 2080. So do we pay the city of Eldora, or are we supposed to pay Eldora Economic Development Corporation? The first
I know it
bill.
was signed by Dave Rubo, so.
Yep, the first one's to the Economic Development Corp., the second one is to the city of Eldora.
That's odd.
No, I think that,
Because one of them, yeah,
I think you're just looking at that sticky note that was on there.
Mm.
It doesn't say make payable to Eldora.
Oh, all right.
Development, it's just an overlay of.
So both of them are to city of Eldora?
Yeah, City of Eldora.
okay.
invoice.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's on their letterhead, but.
I'm sorry, you
Okay.
didn't tell me that earlier.
Well, I did see the sticky notes early on, but. I would say if our agreement's with Eldora Economic Development Corp. and Dave Rubo has signed the agreement, I would imagine that we should be paying the Economic Development Corp. And if the money's supposed to go to the city of Eldora, then that would be between them. That's my
And
opinion.
termination of, resignation of Deb Crosser was when?
November or something.
Was that November or October?
November, I
Okay.
think. is what I was told. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was
Jefferson?
November.
Oh, it was
It was
November.
right after the election, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
Good memory.
it was technically, yeah, the day before.
That would be the only other thing of consideration that we would need to discuss. Because that's when they lost their full-time
Economic development
economic
person.
development person. I think that, they needed a reasonable amount of time to look for a new full-time, but I think, and I'm not sure when they chose to not rehire.
I do think Deb was probably working to finish up loose ends and stuff.
Yeah.
Possibly during that time.
So then it comes down to what was
maybe
fair.
we want
Yeah.
some clarification.
I don't have an issue with paying the 2 quarters. It's just an issue of who we're supposed to pay. Wait, considerable amount of time for December. You're talking
I'm
7
with you.
weeks. I understand that. That's still considerable amount of time. It's still quarterly payments, and these are the 2 quarters. From this point forward, it's not a full-time economic developer starting the 3rd quarter. They have not replaced anybody at that time. But the issue we have at this is, who do we pay?
And that's a good question.
In the bill, do we pay the city of Eldora, or are we supposed to pay the economic development group? I would say we pay the economic development group and they pay the city of Eldora. That would be my feelings. That's who our 2080 is with.
I agree.
I agree too.
So next, do we wait for a bill submitted from the economic development group?
Maybe we should table it until next week and we can contact Dave Rubo and see if they're going to submit a bill.
Or authorize us to pay the city of Eldora on their
Right.
behalf?
Okay, I'll make a motion to table the invoices received from the city of Eldora for economic development until we get more information on who this should be paid to.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is discussion and action concerning county sanitarian position.
Well, I sit on Greenbelt Home Care Board and also am the liaison between the Board of Supervisors and the Board of Health. And, I mean, if everybody's not aware already, we no longer have a sanitarian. And we had a joint meeting of the 2 boards a couple of weeks ago, and the Board of Health decided that they wanted the position to return to a county position again and no longer wanted Greenbelt Home Care to provide those services. So that means also that the 2080 agreements need to be amended or updated, and between the county and the Board of Health, and also between the Board of Health and Greenbelt Home Care. So we just need, Rick asked that we have something on the agenda to direct him to do those 2080 agreements, or update them, amend them, whatever they need to be. I do know Greenbelt Home Care's attorney is also, she's involved and will be updating their 2080, but we'll have to do the one between the Board of Health and the county. And we'll also have to write a job description and advertise to fill that position then. So he just wanted some clarification of the entire situation and direction from the board as to what that he needs to do. So I guess I would just make the motion to direct the county attorney to draw up the appropriate 2080 agreements regarding the sanitarian responsibilities going back to the county. You look perplexed.
It's hard for him to, I gotta wait for a second to go to discussion.
I
I can kill the motion by no second also, and we can talk again.
The way the motion, Before we move forward on this, I think there's a couple of other steps that we need to throw into place on whether we have money for salary yet, which we haven't determined. Not saying that we wouldn't eventually go where you're going. We just have some loose ends that we have to kind of clean up here first. You can't provide a position if you don't have the money to provide the position.
So I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
motion fails for lack of second. Now let's go back
Discuss.
to the discussion. The only thing I'm tore on is how is he supposed to draw something up when we haven't told him what we're drawing up yet? We can't have him draw up a 2080. We're gonna have to meet with him and figure out what our options are, what we want in the 2080, along with everything Ron just said. We can authorize him to go ahead and help us in the process of this, but I was just trying to figure out what would he draw up because he doesn't know
And,
yet.
and Renee's right too
Yeah.
here. I mean, we have to move on this sooner or later. We just need to tie up some loose ends. I shouldn't have just made one example. There are a few examples
Yeah.
that we need to tie up here before we can actually draw up the 2080.
So we're gonna have to authorize Rick to at least get involved in it.
Yeah.
Well, I did, and also earlier this week, I met with Rick. I talked to Rick about it, and also Greenbelt Home Care's attorney about it. And it's relatively not cut and dried, but you're right, and Rick knows that we need to get together so that we can instruct him on what to include in the 28E. But he just thought that it would be good to have direction from the board, because he can't just go on my recommendation that he needs to do this. He's
Right.
wanting the board to direct him to handle this, more or less.
And I think we need
But
to
it would be
meet.
under our direction.
Yeah, so we would have to meet with him to put
Correct.
what we wanted. Are we gonna do tattooing?
Well,
water?
I'm also doing some research now on what services are we required to provide and what services are optional.
Right.
So I've talked with the Iowa Department of Public Health, and they're supposed to be getting that information to me. So, I don't know, Rick just asked me to put it on the agenda so that we can direct him to get involved with this. And so that's
Right.
what I did.
Yeah, I'm fine with him getting involved. I just don't know how we can write. We don't know what we're writing up yet. So I think we need
No.
to meet.
We don't have anything to sign today, though.
Right.
So, yeah, we need to meet with him to discuss that.
Right.
So do we need a motion? We just need to make sure we
All right.
meet with him.
Yeah, we'll have to do some sessions with him to figure out how all this is and get all the things put together. Currently, Greenbelt Home Care is the sanitarian though, correct?
Yes, and they are
Subcontracted?
doing a 2080 or some type of a contract in the meantime for the Story County sanitarian to
Cover.
provide only the,
Septics.
the septic
Not the water?
inspections. No.
Okay. Okay.
So we're still without a service. We're getting into the season that's gonna be a busy season. We're gonna have a lot of unhappy contractors if we don't
Right.
move on
Yeah.
something.
We do have to move.
But
sooner
I
than
don't know, I
later.
just put it on the agenda because that's what Rick
Right.
asked me to do.
Well, yeah, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think we need to do a few work sessions and figure out what we're gonna put in there. We need to know what the necessities are, and that way he has an idea of what to draw the 2080 up as.
Well, then I think we need to designate a time
Yep.
after this to do that, because we
Yep.
get into work
Yes, I
session.
agree.
And
Yep. I agree with that.
nothing gets settled.
Yeah, sooner
Okay.
the better.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll get something on the agenda to do that then.
Okay.
All right,
Next, we have is utility permits of secondary roads.
You do have utility permit there?
I will make a motion to approve Hardin County utility permit application by Interstate Power and Light Company for the purpose of rebuilding overhead and underground power services located along I Avenue and 330th Street, section 29, 30, 31, and 32, Grant Township.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Anything secondary roads?
The frost bows are starting to come out, so.
I noticed that.
Yeah,
We worked
all at once.
a few guys late last night. We got a couple of TT Avenue, the dead end. We hauled the dozer up there today. That individual that lived on the end stayed with family last night. There's no way an ambulance would have got out of there, so hope to have that fixed up today, so.
It's good. Yeah.
But there's quite a few other spots out.
Hopefully it doesn't come out like last year. Come out at once instead of, what, 2 months dragging, 3 months?
Weather's been in our favor this, well, at least for the last few weeks.
Knocking some laminate there or something.
So, the brush cutter is in the shop now, we're waiting for a part. So we'll get that back out as soon as that gets in.
Did a nice job south of Alden. It looks good going around that corner. See around the corner now.
Yeah, I went around it the other day, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
When's the bridge closed out?
That's something I wanted to discuss with the board in the work session. We received results from the letting. We only had one bid, and it was 49% higher than our engineer's estimates.
Whew.
We need to look at some different options.
Anything else for us?
That's it.
Any good news?
Yeah, we're all still here.
The snow
All right.
melted. The snow's melted.
Some of it, yeah.
Any other business?
Yeah, I'll pipe up, just so everyone can know that we are gonna, I've been contacted by the aerial photography company, speaking of snow, and this, we still have snow, patches of snow on the ground, so it's too early to fly, but it will be happening in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks, weather. I'll be meeting with them actually at my conference tomorrow, so I hope to find out more information.
Leaves will be coming on pretty soon.
I know, if it stays warm like this, it'll happen fast, so I keep telling everyone to clean up their yards, because we'll find everything.
We got the budget hearing tonight at 4:45 in this room, conference room. Anything else? Hearing none, I can ask for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.